Hello everybody, and welcome to Game Development Services. Now, here we are. We have the new and improved Deltarune and Undertale RPG Remake 3. And as far as I know, the online stuff doesn't completely work. It works in some prospects, but the level maker has updated since the last time you've seen. Starting out with the new mischance that you guys haven't seen before. Mischance is basically you choose a number between 0 and 100. 0 meaning that you will never miss the character, 100 meaning you will always miss the character, which is good when you're trying to make sans fights. HP, obviously HP of the character, the name of the character, attack strength. Now this affects the attacking bar a little bit. It makes it faster or slower depending on how much. Now this is only the character area, as you can see right here. We only have Kara, Undying, and Papyrus so far. Loads work as expected as well. Save, play, and publish. Publish sort of works. Next section is the act area, something you haven't seen before. Now, if I just load up one of my ones like the Undying. This is the act area. You could now create new acts for your menu. You could create up to 8 of them before it can't handle anymore, and you would have to replace some, which I will get into in a few minutes. Now this act menu is a little bit different from what you see. So you could see the acts are down here. This is the act name, which is cry. The name just cry. Act dialogue, you cry, nothing happened. Then what happens? Nothing gets set to 0.3. None, meaning that it's a variable that doesn't mean anything. You could see that we got a bunch of variables right here. We got miss, HP, player HP, Mercy Visible, which was not featured in Daurr 2, but is now featured in this one, and works very well. Now you could see, first one is cry, does nothing, check, also does nothing, it just tells you. And then challenge, which is an interesting one because this one adds to a variable. So you say Undying is going too easy on you, Undying's attack are more damaging, and it increases damage multiplier by 0.3, meaning that it's doing 1.3%, well, it's doing 130% damage now, because that's normally just 1, meaning it does 100% damage. So these are very customizable. You could put it to set or add to a value, and then use it with this. And obviously if you go to Mercy Visible and set it to add, it will only set it to a value. So no matter what, if you press add and then set it to 1, it will just set it to 1. Or if you press add 0, it will just set it to 0 and not add nothing, which is supposed to happen. Now the next area is the normal attack area, which you've seen in the Daurr 2, which is just a bunch of attacks that normally are put into the game, set randomly, and then the character chooses one attack. The attack name is right here. That's where all the attack names go. So first attack, second attack, third attack, fourth attack. Then these are all right here. Minimum damage, maximum damage, and then the percent chance, which would be 50% chance, 30% chance, 10% chance, and 35% chance. It will, of course, tell you, as its description. Next area is the attack area, which I believe most of you would absolutely like. I personally like this feature as well. This attack area is the most customizable area. You could choose to disallow items and acting to progress turns. Now, you're probably wondering, what does that mean? That means if you use the items button or the acting button and basically select an option from there, it will not continue a turn. Meaning that it would do the same attack, kind of like the Sans fight in Undertale. If you turn it off, then it will just act as normal. Now you could see right here is no attack and no dialogue. This is where, if you want no attack and no dialogue to happen, it will just skip their turn basically to happen at a turn number. So we set it to no attack and no dialogue. Press on what turn you want it to happen at, and then you select do action at turn. And it will make it where no attack and no dialogue will happen at that turn. Now, the default thing that happens is normal attack and no dialogue. And we just discussed what normal attacks are. Basically, that means a normal attack will happen at that turn, and no dialogue will happen at that turn. Now, if we go to normal attack and dialogue, we could write dialogue for the character to say, like, "This is amazing." And then if you press the enter button to make another line, it will make it as if it's saying a new thing. So, "This is amazing. Hi." It will say, "This is amazing," pause, and then "hi." And then most of you guys will absolutely like this one, custom attack features, where you could create your own custom attack yourself without having to worry about normal attacks being in the way. And then custom attack and dialogue, like if you were going to do like, here's my special attack, and then just name it special attack, and then the damage it's going to do, and put it at that turn by pressing this do action at turn button. And then one of the most customizable parts of this is the var change. Now, in this game, you're not able to put multiple attacks in one. If you could see there's a normal attack right here at turn 7. If I press this, it will not allow it because you can't have two actions in the same turn. But this is where it gets interesting. If you go to var change, you could change variables of the player, you could change variables of everything. And most importantly, this is how you're going to add in acting slots. So you could see that we got the cry, check, and challenge slot. These are all from the act area, because these don't come from the game. If you create a new act, it will add a new variable. So back to the attacking area, if we move down and go to cry slot, and we put it to do at turn 1, we have to set the cry slot to a certain slot you want it to be in. So it's going to be 1 through 8. So the value would have to be 1 through 8, depending on what slot you want it to be in. So if you want it to be in your first slot for acting, you would set it to 1. Or if you want it to be in your 5th slot, you would set it to 5. And this is how you set your acts, because they aren't visible on the first turn. You have to set it up with the variable change, which is very customizable if you want to change your variables on the fly. But I think the best thing is that you could change your mischance, you could change your player HP, you could change the HP of the monster. I mean, you could even see there's a description right here that says what the variables do. If I go to damage multiplier, there's nothing because I didn't add the description to that. But fight visible, it will tell you 0 is false, 1 is true, and that just makes it where the fight button is visible or not. And then none, of course, is going to do nothing. So I think this customizable part is really nice. Then each color has its own special ability. Normal being just a normal part, yellow being one that can hit multiple shots at one time. And so you could see I have a lot of attacks here, a lot of variables that get set at this moment of time. Pressing play. Now, if there's like any fan-made music that we are allowed to use, but that you need to credit in your YouTube video, there will be something that pops up. So you could see there's no axe right now because it only shows up on the first turn. So you could see mercy button is now disabled because I disabled it. And if we look at actions now, you can see our actions are here. So if we press check, that's exactly what I set it to be. And if I press cry, and then if I press challenge, and then, yeah, of course, if you hit the edges, then it will automatically shoot for you. Poison damage is just something that's for the blue heart. It happens for the blue heart. And then you could see the poison damage meter right here. It tells you some stuff. It disappears if it gets to 0, but it tells you how much poison damage is left. Yeah, there is a lot of fixes to do, but I hope you guys like what I've shown you so far. And I'll see you all later.